Yeah, John, I'm having a little bit of a hard time though with the one on how they're doing their weight cutting. I don't understand it. Do you understand a little bit more?
Yeah, I understand it. I understand
Because what's killing
what
me,
they've decided to do, but
what's killing me though is that like it seems like these guys are so much bigger than the ones that have fought in the U.S. promotions.
That's because they are.
And so how are they doing it though? That's what I want to know. Why do they seem like they're so much bigger?
Because they are. Let's just be honest. What one decided to try to do is to take the fighters and introduce them into what a hydrated athlete would be as far as the technical numbers associated. They gave them instruments that they could test themselves. And they were told that you need to be within this range when we weigh you as far as hydration and weight. So the extreme weight cutting as far as the dropping of, fluids from your system, like you'll see with fighters out of the UFC, Bellator, PFL, they can't do it the same way. Now, they can lose a little bit. They can do a little bit with it, but you've got to be a hydrated fighter when you step on the scale. They will test you to make sure that you are what they consider a fully hydrated fighter. Once you have tested that, yes, you're fully hydrated, you can now step on the scale and you have to weigh within your category. Now, your category is different than what the unified rules are. We look at a lightweight as 155 pounds. We look at a welterweight as 170 pounds. One is saying, look, let's just be honest. Josh Thompson, when you fought, you weighed in at 155 pounds, and by the time that you walked into the cage, you were 170, 171 pounds.
Yep.
Okay. And so they're saying, all right, we're just trying to get rid of that. We don't want you to cut that weight down and then to gain it back. That's not healthy. We want you to maintain a healthy weight throughout. Weigh in. You can weigh the 170 pounds. So that means that you, a guy that normally walked around at 171, 72 pounds, you would have to lose 2 pounds of weight. How hard was that for you to do? That's a half hour of you moving.
Yeah.
And so that's what their athletes are. That's what they try to do. Now, is it perfect? Now, there's no perfect in anything, but it's a great attempt at trying to keep their athletes healthy from dehydration.
No, I understand what they are. I get that part of what you just explained. I understand that. But
All right.
Why is it then that DJ looks so much smaller than Adriano Moraes? And the same thing with the guys that Eddie Alvarez is fighting. I'm like, these guys look huge.
Because they are. They're big.
They are big, but how are they weighed the same? Or why are they in the same weight class?
They are in the same weight class, and they're weighing close to the same amount. It's just that you're used to seeing. Let's be honest. DJ is 5'1", 5'2".
Yeah.
All right.
You might be blessing him with an inch or two.
Maybe and so but that's it says 5'3".
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll say he's 5'3". Okay. But Moraes is 5'8". So first off, he looks bigger, and then when you get into it, should be that DJ kind of looks like the bulkier guy, but he doesn't. No. Moraes looks like the more heavily muscled guy and stuff, and this is just part of that they give a range, and there's not an athletic commission there to sit there and say, "Burp, here's the numbers. This is where we're cutting it." You have the promotion that's in charge of their weighing system. And as long as they say, yeah, we're going to allow that fight, then that fight's going to go. And then the fighters have to agree upon, that's what you signed up for when you signed with ONE FC, and it going in.
Yeah. I just think when I look at the weight of Eddie Alvarez, I'll give you another example is Sage Northcutt. When he fought Cosmo was a lot bigger than him. A lot bigger than him. I mean, and when I saw them, I was like, damn, they don't even look like the same. They don't look like the same weight class. How is that possible?
One looked like it was a welterweight, and one looked like a middleweight.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they were. It seemed like when they got in the cage, because after he got hit one time, it was over. You know what I mean? Like that made me feel like, okay, there's something going on that's not it doesn't seem right. Like, I don't know. I feel like there should be this thing where, and I said this, I think you were there. Were you there no, you weren't there.
Yes, I was.
Were you the one down in LA when I was there? Okay.
Yeah.
So that there, is when we talked to the commission there in California, I said, hey, I think the best way to do this is to, if you're fighting at 55, no matter what, you can't exceed the weight class above at the moment you fight.
Mm-hmm.
The only problem is, so if I can never fight over 170,
That's
then
right.
you only have guys really, if they are going to cut, they're going to cut 1 pound right before they have to fight, which is basically shadow boxing in the back warming up. All the ones that are like a Khabib and an Islam, those guys would have to go to 170 because there's no way. The amount of weight that they keep on, the amount of weight they put on after they make weight is like in the 76 to 78 range, and so they'd have to go to 170. Now they could probably go up to like whatever their natural weight is when they fight. The same thing though with like Usman and whoever else is, those other guys, Kamaru Usman and those other guys at that weight class at 70, they'd probably have to go up in weight. I've always just felt that way. Is the best way to regulate the weight cutting situation is if you fight at 55, you can't exceed 170. The only issue that I have with it is that when you get to like 185 to 205, that's 15 pounds, but then you go 205 to heavyweight, it's like...
I hate to tell you, 185 to 205 is 20 pounds, dude.
20 pounds. There you go, Josh Thompson math. Okay, you know what I mean? So
I was thinking
70.
Because if I didn't say it,
70.
someone's going to say something about, man, well, you guys don't understand what weight is.
No, I was thinking 70 to 85. Yeah. I put my phone
70 to 85 is that's at 15 pounds.
Yeah, but I mean, like, so that's where it's not fair. Is that if weight classes were every 10 pounds, like you go if you went 55 to 65 to 65, 65 to 75, 75 to 85, you understand. But then when you get to 95, you can't do it because there's not enough talent to do it that way. You know what I mean? So I understand the frustration. It gets me a little. I see guys like DJ, right? He's not a big guy to begin with. Then he looks like when he fought Adriano, he just looked so much smaller. The power was definitely a deal. The speed, the reach, the range, all that stuff seemed like definitely a big problem for him. Same thing with Eddie Alvarez. All the guys, when he fought Oak, he looked way smaller than Oak. When he fought Foy Long, he's smaller than Foy Long. When he fought these guys, I'm like, damn, they're a lot smaller. Why are they they're supposed to be the same weight class, but they're not. And so, I don't know. I just feel like it's not, I know it's not a perfect science, but something's wrong with it. It doesn't seem, and it seems like it's favored the fighters that have been already there.
Yeah.
That's the thing that kind of, like the ones that are already there kind of favors them.
100% agree. Okay.